Dear little friends, today we're going to tell a story called The Kind Little Pig. The little pig always wants to help others, but why do people say he's meddling? Let's listen to the story and find the answer together. In a lush green forest, there lived a chubby and pink little pig named Lulu. Lulu had a pair of big round eyes and a short little tail that always wagged merrily. Lulu really loved helping others. Every time she saw someone in trouble, she would huff and puff and run over, hoping to make everyone happy. One sunny day, Lulu hummed a little self-made nursery rhyme. Lulu loves to help, and she's happy and kind, and wandered slowly through the forest, holding a curved wood walking stick, and his white hair fluttered gently in the wind. Uncle Goat was old, and his face was covered with wrinkles like tree bark, and he trembled slightly as he walked. Lulu thumped over and said enthusiastically, "Uncle Goat, let me help you." Before Uncle Goat could speak, she grabbed his arm and carefully led him onto the bridge. The bridge planks squeaked as they walked, and Lulu kept muttering, "Don't be afraid, Uncle Goat. I'm here with you." After finally crossing the bridge, Lulu slapped her chest and smiled brightly. "You're welcome. It's what I should do." But Uncle Goat frowned, and his beard trembled with anger. You! It took me half an hour to finally get to the other side of the river and was ready to go home. But you lead me back again." Lulu was stunned, her ears drooped, and her face turned red. She stammered and didn't know what to say. Lulu, feeling a bit down, continued walking. When she passed a meadow full of wildflowers, she saw the cave of Little Flower Snake. Little Flower Snake was coiled up and lying quietly at the entrance of the cave, and its scales sparkled in the sunlight. Lulu tilted her head and thought, "Little Flower Snake must be cold. Let me start a fire for it." She got to work right away. Lulu huffed and puffed and picked up dry branches and leaves everywhere and imitated her mother, using a stone to strike a spark. Soon a crackling fire burned, and the warm heat rushed over. Unexpectedly, Little Flower Snake hissed and jumped up from the ground, shouting in a panic, "Don't start a fire! Don't start a fire!" Its body twisted around beside the fire, almost crying, "I was sunbathing, and the fire will roast me." Lulu was so scared that she hastily put out the fire. Looking at the angry Little Flower Snake, tears welled up in her eyes. Lulu dragged her heavy steps home, and the sound of her footsteps pattering was full of grievance. As soon as she entered the house, she threw herself into her mother's arms and cried, "Mom, why are people unhappy even though I did something good?" Mom Pig gently stroked Lulu's head and smiled. "My little baby, although you meant well to help others, you have to ask if they need help before you act. You'll end up doing good deeds but causing trouble. Just like when you wanted to help Uncle Goat, you didn't ask where he was going. And when you wanted to help Little Flower Snake, you didn't know it was sunbathing." Lulu looked up, blinking her wet eyes, and nodded seriously. "I understand, Mom. I'll ask clearly before I help others from now on." After that, Lulu's busy figure could often be seen in the forest. One day, Lulu passed by the pond and saw the little ducks huddled together, quacking at the water. She huffed and puffed and ran over, then squatted down and asked, "Little ducks, what are you doing?" Do you need my help? A little duck shook its wet feathers and said anxiously. Lulu, our swimming ring floated into the middle of the water, and we can't get it back. Lulu looked in the direction the little duck pointed, and sure enough, the pink swimming ring was gurgling and spinning on the water. Lulu slapped her chest. Leave it to me. She plunged into the pond with a splash, but after swimming a few strokes, she gulped down several mouthfuls of water. It turned out that although Lulu was eager to help, she was a clumsy swimmer. Her short legs flailed around in the water, and her chubby body just couldn't float. The water splashed and made a loud splashing sound. The little ducks quacked and laughed until they doubled over. A brave little duck swam over and said, Lulu, let us carry you. So 5 little ducks lined up, and Lulu on their backs like lying on a little boat. The little ducks worked together, rowing and rowing, and finally got close to the swimming ring. Lulu stretched out her chubby paws and grabbed the swimming ring. But she used too much force and plopped into the water along with the little ducks. The pond suddenly erupted in chaos, with water splashing everywhere. The little ducks' quacks and Lulu's grunts mixed together, making the frogs by the shore croak and laugh. Finally, they managed to get the swimming ring out of the water. The little ducks hopped around the wet Lulu. Lulu, you're a bit silly, but you're so cute. We like you so much. Lulu shook the water off her ears and laughed, and wagged her tail even more happily. Little friends, this story tells us that helping others is a wonderful thing, but we must figure out what they need first. Only in this way can our kind hearts truly help others and make everyone happy. Just think, if you were Lulu, how would you help the little friends in the forest?